haven't used the test track for a while, so we'll give it a go, see what happens.
This is a cool little test track, don't I like it? How long have you had this?
Oh, I built it years ago, but as you can see, it's overgrown a little bit in the last lot of rains.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can get Milo through this. Mind you, if you look, you'll see marks where the exhaust pipe hits the tree.
And not a lot of steering lock on them, eh?
No, no.
Your kids come out on this?
Yeah.
A little play?
Yeah. He used to have little motorbikes, you know.
Well, there we go then.
Ah, we're going through the river section. Now these lumps are just wide enough, so don't be frightened to push a bit.
I must say that there's quite a difference between the new JK and this one, I reckon. 1942.
Okay, so the Jeep torture test continues, and you know, Jeep and Westpoint have come up with the JK. It's been fitted out to sort of, what would you say, adventure standards, I guess. VRS winch, steel back and front, you know, it's got the front runner roof rack and light force lights. It's awesome, it's terrific, it's really good. And ultimately, that's because we want to compare it against the original. There's 70 years, 75 years actually, between these two vehicles. There's a lot of remarkable similarities and there's a lot of differences too. But that was the whole aim. But before we go on and make that comparison, and a really in-depth comparison it's going to be too, what we wanted to do was run in the JK. Sort of a get-to-know-it trip. So you know where we took it? South Australia, via all the back tracks. It was fantastic too. Oh, take a Jeep bush and it looks straight at home, doesn't it? Here we are taking a few back tracks. We're still in Victoria at this stage, but we're cutting across to the border track. And this is part of the border track, one of the gnarliest bits. Listen to that 3.6 litre V6 raw. I mean, these things have got power on tap. Absolutely covered him. Before long, we've finished the Adelaide show and we're looking for something to do on the way home. And this is it. This is Bendelby. Have opened their property up, 15,000 hectares, to four-wheel drivers and campers and people who like a bit of an adventure. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to adventure vehicles, the JK Jeep's awesome. With a few days to play with, I was keen to have every chance I could behind the wheel of the JK. It's comfortable too, but by crikey, Bendelby Rangers, this is about as tough as it gets. And this particular track, which the locals call Billy Goat, really should be renamed Razorback. There's too many Billy Goat tracks in Australia, and this has got to be one of the ballsiest tracks I've ever been on for one simple reason. It's so easy to make a mistake that it's a spear off to the sides, and there's nowhere to go, just straight over the edge. It's rocky, it's harsh, there's jump ups all the way along, and you know what? The Jeep just ate it. I mean, you can see why Jeeps are good. They've just got the suspension for this kind of stuff. They've got the right wheelbase, the right approach and departure angles. Here we have an almost standard truck, and it's going up one of the toughest tracks in Australia. So, you know, do I like this Jeep JK? Yes, I do. I'm going to continue liking it too. Even on a downhill stretch, I mean, Richard did a lot of the driving for this. I just hopped in and did the fun bits. But even on something like this downhill stretch, the security you felt steering the Jeep, you know, so easy. The 5-speed automatic's doing most of the work. The brakes are good. We had plenty to toast by the time we left Bendelby. But you want to wait and see what this old Jeep versus new Jeep comparo shows up. And we're going to be having another look at Bendelby too, because it's just too good not to. So, like the JK, too right. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It did everything we asked of it very easily and very comfortably. It's a real Jeep, you know. It's got a lot in common. How much in common? Well, hang on, wait and find out, because we're going to torture test these two.